So, kurze Unterbrechung. Jetzt geht's weiter darum, müssen wir hoch. Ich frage mich halt, welche Waffe da sinnvoll wäre. Probieren wir die mal. Ganz schön viele kaputte Raumschiffe. Ach, verdammt nochmal. Ich will doch nachladen wohl.
Which one? Which one is going to kill you?
Ich habe nur meinen Anzug an. Okay, das nervt mich mit der Waffe. Das ist ja schrecklich.
It's not working.
Also.
It's never going to work.
Was machen die Typen da? Warum rennen die dann hin? Sag mal, sind die alle bescheuert hier? Komische Sprache in meinem Kopf hier. Aber okay, erstmal.
You can't beat it. It's too strong.
Der redet
Give up
doch gerade.
now.
Warum pullt ihr gleich den nächsten eigentlich?
You've lost. You're never
Hallo?
gonna win.
Oh,
They
das ist
always
frech.
win.
Jetzt lauf mir halt nicht rein, du Trottel. Was machen die?
Right in the arm.
I'm coming for
Hey, warum kann ich nicht... Achso. Oh nein, der eine ist umgekippt. Der Truppanführer ist... Oh. Was machen die denn?
Meat to the slaughter.
Oh.
I can't. Hold on. All sides! They're all around us! Fall back! Fall back!
Was ist meine Waffe hier? Nein, die nicht. Die wollte ich. Nein, die wollte ich nicht. Na, sag mal. Die da
Oh
wollte ich.
God! Here they come!
Boah, der kann auch nicht nachladen, wenn er getroffen wird. Das ist so nervig. Es ladet halt einfach nach. Das macht auch überhaupt keinen Schaden. Es ist cool, dass mein Schiff das einzige ist, was noch nicht kaputt ist. Alter, es ist lästig. Sind die Viecher lästig. Ich sehe auch gar nicht, womit das Ding angreift. Das schreit immer nur und dann... Ist das ätzend? Sag mal, ich glaube, ich spinne. Halt die Fresse.
All wrapped up. We should go tell the sergeant what happened.
Ich soll das jetzt machen? Na toll. Ja. Wo sind seine beiden Klapsköpfe hier? Die Vollidioten, die auf einmal mit den Fäusten gekämpft haben, hä? Was ist denn mit euch? Ja. Ach, guck mal. Hätte man vielleicht benutzen können. Wenn nicht jemand den zweiten einfach gepult hätte, ohne mein Einverständnis. Ach. Ist das ein Rotz? War das ein Rotz?
Thank the heavens you're back in one piece. I guess our people weren't so lucky.
Ja, sorry. Ich kann nichts dafür, dass sie nicht gut genug waren. Wir finden heraus, was geschehen ist.
The cabinet's already got a plan in place to make sure attacks like this never happen again.
Can't happen soon enough. Thank you.
The city owes you both a debt after this.
We were just in the right place at the right time. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terrormorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
So, aber hier ist ein Durchbruch. Achso, weil einer schon reingekommen ist. Okay.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes. That is all.
Whole building's on lockdown.
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss.
My officers were unprepared for what happened at the spaceport. I intend
The
to
next time
correct that.
Terrormorphs rear their ugly heads, the UC is going to be ready.
Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terrormorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ich nehme Dankbarkeit in Form von Credits, Immobilien oder Luxusgütern an. Das sage ich mal, das ist so ein bisschen lustig.
I had some ideas on that front, Captain, but we'll get to that. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terrormorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
Mich? Warum schickt ihr nicht einen Diplomaten? Jemanden, der für sowas ausgebildet wurde.
The Cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation than any diplomat would be. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of Terrormorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The Cabinet was unanimous. They want you.
Na gut.
We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. Get you access to those credits and real estate you're after. So, will you help us? I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
We're counting on
Just
you,
killed easy
Captain.
citizens.
Don't let
Not
our people's
killing anyone.
sacrifice be in vain.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
Die lassen mich jetzt einfach hier stehen. Die gehen einfach. Ja, hast du fein gemacht. Hast du alle gerettet. Ciao. Frech.
These orders. A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require.
Hat sie gerade telefoniert? Okay, ich glaube, wir können den Anzug wieder ausziehen. Das macht keinen Unterschied.
That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the Cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terrormorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
Ja.
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House
Ja.
Varun.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
Kein Problem, ich brauche nur ein paar Elektroden, eine Zahnzange und etwas Thiopental. Was kannst du mir das kurz sagen? Könnten wir sie fälschen?
It won't be.
Both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun?
Ich bin gespannt auf Haus Varun, weil es hieß doch, die sind nicht mehr da.
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Well, these days, they're primarily considered a security threat. House Varun Zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated into seclusion, want nothing more than to send everyone not dedicated to their cause to the great serpent in the sky. But that hasn't always been the case. After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about 70 years back, House Varun did take a real run at trying to normalize relations with the rest of the galaxy. It's why they have an embassy here in the first place, why they were included in the armistice negotiations. But then, without warning, they left, leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the ambassador and his duty under the armistice.
Of course, but there is another wrinkle. We're not 100% sure Balmore is actually still alive.
Hä?
His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice.
Was für Lebenszeichen habt ihr denn bitte gefunden?
The Varun delegation brought more than a few of their native flora with them when they set up in the embassy. It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish, making it hard for us to verify what's flora and what's ambassador.
Okay. Hat denn noch niemand nachgesehen?
The embassy is still legally House Varun's sovereign territory, so we're not technically permitted inside. We've snuck in the occasional spy, of course, but the ambassador has proven more evasive than you'd expect for a man of his age. But we're quite sure he hasn't left the city. The man stands out.
Ich werde schon.
I have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Okay, dann erzähl mir mal was von der Botschafterin gleich noch.
Ah, the good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable. Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Du unterschätzt gewaltig, wie charmant ich sein kann.
Huh. Well, if that's the case, I'll wait to be pleasantly surprised. But we do have one item up our sleeve. UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen.
Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you.
Gibt es sonst noch was, was ich innerhalb der Botschaft nicht tun sollte, außer Sachen klauen?
Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts. All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up, you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Aber ich wollte eigentlich mit dem anderen anfangen. Ich fange mit dem anderen an. Die sollen sich erstmal beruhigen. Außerdem vertraue ich ihr nicht. Die ist irgendwie komisch. Ist hier die Tür? Nee. Ist hier die Tür? Nee. Ach, da ist die Tür. War zu offensichtlich.